Hey there, this is Doug from SpeedCubeShop, and in this tutorial I will be teaching you how to repair a popped 3x3. So popping is when a piece or multiple pieces will end up falling or popping out of the cube. And while it can seem that this means that your cube has become broken or damaged, this is a totally normal occurrence and you shouldn't worry, as the pieces will still be fully functional and they just need to be placed back into the puzzle. So you can see on this edge right here, everything still looks fine. This corner, everything still looks fine. I just need to put them back into the puzzle. Popping is most often caused by the puzzle's tensions being too loose or by trying to force a corner cut too aggressively. So once the cube has been repaired, I would recommend to check your puzzle's tensions and likely tighten the screws a bit. Popping is also less common on higher end cubes due to higher quality plastic, molds, and better mechanisms in general, as well as they typically come with better tensions from the factory. This tutorial will be demonstrated on the Qi MS magnetic 3x3, and while this may not look exactly like your puzzle, the concepts and solutions are the same, with the only exception being GAN puzzles. An example of this will be shown in a different video. Before we get started, some tools you may need would include a Phillips head screwdriver and some kind of prying tool that won't damage the plastic, such as a popsicle stick. That's my preferred option. And this is so that you can loosen up the puzzle if it's a little bit too tight to get the pieces back in. So for this one, what I'm going to do is gently get this popsicle stick under the center cap and just pop that off here real quick. And then I'm going to loosen up the screw. I would recommend to keep track of how many turns you are loosening it so that you can return the cube to the previous tensions once you're all done with this. So I'm going to turn it about 360 degrees. And then there, the cube is now loosened up enough and we can move on to the next steps. So in this case, I have had two corners and an edge piece pop out of this puzzle. So the first step to putting these back in would be to put the corners in, and this is because the edge has this torpedo piece that's designed to pull against the corners and prevent it from coming out super easily. So the first step would be to twist the top part of the puzzle about 45 degrees. That just makes the space in there a bit more open and a bit easier to put the pieces in. So I would recommend to pull down on the edge and this corner here to open up more space. Take one of the corners and simply slide it back in. It's that easy. Then we'll do it with the other one, the other side now. And the corners are now back in. So the last step would be putting in this edge piece, and because of the torpedo piece that I mentioned previously, what we're going to do is kind of pull the corner pieces apart to create more space like we were just doing, and we're going to sort of rotate the edge into place at just a little bit of an angle, not too much, but it'll allow you to just rotate it past the corners there. You can also remove it the same way, because if I'm pulling on it like this, it will just catch on the corners, but if I twist it, it will allow me to pull it out. So I'm going to put it back in the same way, twist it back into place, and every piece has now been re-put back into the cube. I'm going to re-tighten the top like I did before. It was a 360 degree turn, so I'm going to do that again. So the tensions are exactly the same way that they were beforehand. I'll now just take the center piece, put the cap back on, and the cube is all ready to go. Thanks for watching. If you need help with other puzzles, we have an assortment of other tutorials which we will link below in the description. You can also find a link to our full resources playlist for cubing terminology and other tutorial videos. If you have requests for future videos, leave it in a comment below and subscribe to not miss our future tutorials. If you can't find a video for your situation, please feel free to email us at service@speedcubeshop.com and we'll be happy to help.